right. Well, welcome in, everyone. We are live for this week's Before the Cape. There's only two of us this week. Ian's out of town holiday. Didn't make it back in time to finish. Back in time to watch this with us, but and talk about it. But you know what? That's all good. We'll sit here to talk about what was a really good episode, and so we'll see how this goes. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into our review of season 1, episode 16 of Stray from Smallville season 1. Let's do it.
Welcome to the Dingus Den.
All right. Well, welcome in, everyone, to the Dingus Den for another episode of Before the Cape. I see you there, Trevor. I see you there, Matthew. Great to see you all here. Hang out. I hope everyone had a good Christmas. I had a good Christmas minus some family being sick, but, all things considered, all good on my end.
How many comic books did you get?
I asked for I kind of went with the mentality of like a quality over, not saying that short comic stores are necessarily bad, but like a quality over quantity idea. So like instead of asking for like a bunch of little ones, I asked for a few omnibuses, and so
nice.
I got a nice few bigger ones. Nothing Superman related. I got a Batman one of that's focuses on like the Bat family detective comics, which is going to be really good. I read the first arc of that, which is like really good, like before the omnibus. And with how big of a Batman fan I am, I'm one of those people that's like, I want to own like anything Batman that's known to be really good. So I've been holding it out on it for a while, or for a little bit, and so I got that.
Nice.
Let's see, our other main additions were actually, if you remember, me and Cam did a video over Agent Venom.
Oh yeah.
I love that so much. I love Venom so much, and that was an era of Venom I like wasn't familiar with. I love that comic though.
Nice.
Point is they just came out with an omnibus collecting that entire, I guess you could say, saga.
Oh wow.
Earlier this year, like a month or two before me and Cam did that review, and I'm like, I loved it so much. I was like, you know what? I want to get the whole thing, and so that was like one of the other main things I asked for.
Nice.
The other two main ones was Hulk, Immortal Hulk, which is a really big modern Hulk run, known to be amazing. Hulk is great in the comics. The movies do such a disservice with him. Like, that's my biggest problem with the Marvel movies, is they did not do Hulk right. And then the other one is another Green Lantern, because I want to get all the main Green Lantern stuff. So
nice.
Well, the Jeff Johns Green Lantern, which is known to be like the Jeff Johns Green Lantern is the transformational Green Lantern, where he added so much of the lore. Like, he's essentially the one that brought in the spectrum of colors. That's not just the green and yellow. And what he did for Green Lantern was huge, and known to be like the Green Lantern to read. And so,
wow, I guess I got to check that out.
It's great stuff. So it's cool because for DC, Superman, I think now is probably a solid third, but my favorite two are Batman and Hal Jordan. And which is funny too about those two is that they like don't necessarily like each other in the comics. Like, they're like the co-workers, like, yeah, they work together, but they've like never really liked each other. And so but yeah, funny how that works. But yeah, it's been good.
Nice.
How about you? You get anything good for your movie collection there?
Yeah, I got so I had found the first 3 seasons of Yellowstone at my local thrift store. So I asked for on Blu-ray, so I got season 4 on Blu-ray, and then I got the 2 prequel shows on DVD. And then I got there's a show called, actually the hat I'm wearing, The Chosen. I got season 2 on Blu-ray.
What is it?
So I have the whole show now on Blu-ray, or
nice.
4 out of the 5 seasons on Blu-ray.
Nice.
So that was my physical media haul. So
very cool.
Yeah, it was a good time. So
yeah, for sure. Glad to hear. We both had a good Christmas, which is always good. Trevor saying personally really love the different Robins and the personalities. Yeah, it's great. The Batman comic in particular I was talking about. It's a really cool mix of them that stands out, and it's known to be one of the best modern like Batman stuff that's come out. And so a lot of people love it, and so
Nice.
can't wait to get into that more. Because there's certain things I read the first arc of, and I'm like, oh, I love this so much, I want to get the whole thing. So I got to finally cross off.
That's a good problem to have, though.
It's a good, yeah. I'm very particular with certain things and like comic reading habits. Like I don't know. There's just certain things, and I'm sure you're that same way when you watch movies and stuff too with your collection too, So it's the thing when you're really passionate and you grow a big collection of something, everyone has their weird self-isms of how they do things. So
yeah. Exactly.
Part of it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's see here. Before we actually talk about this, make sure hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't already. Always we do this same super show, same super time. Before the Cape, we're currently in the middle of Smallville season 1. We're getting close to the end though, which is cool. Closer. I think we have 3 or 4 episodes left of this in season 1.
I think we have 6 because there's 22 episodes, right?
I meant live shows that we're doing.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, 3. I think 4 3 or 4 left. Yeah, I think 3. Yeah, because there's 2 more sets of 2 episodes, and then I think a single episode or something like that.
Yeah, because the finale we're doing singular, and if we look at all the episodes that we're doing, well, okay, how do I go for this? Hold on. I am struggling to remember how to work Hulu, which is normally a problem I don't have. Why can I not find the whole thing? You know what? Yeah, we have I think it's 3 we have left after this. Yeah. I'm really sure on. Yeah, I'm okay, whatever. So, but yeah, so
you don't have Ian here to tell us.
Yeah, I know, right? Our guys without us, so we're just all, I don't know, bumbling around or something like that. But yeah, oh, where's our third person? Our third is he's on holiday. He's on vacation. He is somebody that when he goes on these family trips, he completely disconnects. And so I know, last week he mentioned that he was going to try to make it back on time, but there's a possibility he can't make it. So we didn't hear anything from him. So that means he's either getting back late or getting back at a later time than expected. So, but yeah, I do know though he doesn't want us to stop for him though. That was something he was clear to me about ahead of time, and so we're still going. And plus, with this being one of those long show endeavors too, I think I feel like as long as I'm the one here to be able to run things, I think the show should go on, because Smallville's a big commitment.
Yeah,
and so I think it's important to do. See, that's good. That's good for you, Trevor. Completely disconnecting when you do trips. I can't get away. I've thought about that. I should try to have a couple days where I just completely disconnect from it and just focus on things. I wonder if that makes me drive crazy because of being so used to it. I've thought about that.
I've tried it. I've kind of done it where I'll pick a day where I'm like no social media.
Yeah,
I'll just try to stay off, and it's actually nice. You kind of get.
I really should. Maybe be a little more sane or something. I don't know. But yeah, that's cool. Let's see here. What I was about to say, along with the Christmas and stuff here on the Dingus Den, on Christmas Day, I didn't promo it because I just got completely caught up in my Christmas Day stuff. I'm one of those people that wakes up late. So when I have something that's earlier in the day for my schedule, I was I woke up having to get ready, and then I'm so busy with the Christmas stuff that I released our Christmas video for the Batman Long Halloween Christmas, which was a comic dub, which was a lot of fun. Michael does a really good Joker.
He
I
does.
knew like ahead of time. I was like, of course I'd want to try to do Joker. I knew I couldn't do a good Joker, but I was like, of course I'd want to because he's like my favorite villain like ever. Obviously by anyone who knows any of my personal profile pictures or anything. But anyway, I was like, yeah, I'd like to try him, but I had the feeling that Michael would do a really good job, and my bet was right on that.
He was
He
great.
did a great Joker. So I legitimately mean that. Like, I'm kind of jealous of how good of a Joker he can do. Like, I'm not gonna lie about that. And so, and these two issues, Christmas is a really big Joker issue, as well as New Year's Eve or New Year's Day. I need to figure out which of those days I'm releasing it on. I guess New Year's Day. I think is what it is. So I'll I think for that one I'll release it right at like midnight, like my time. I think I'll do. But yeah, those are fun. Be on the lookout for the Batman Long Halloween stuff that we do. That's just something fun that way too. We get around, we read through the comic. You all don't see all the mess ups that we do along the way as it comes to a. Well, yeah, no, we're just perfect the whole time. Don't mind
when
when
one take
like jumps around.
every time.
Yeah. Just don't mind like the weird video stuff when people jump around. When you look really closely. But no, I added it in so it's a full on read through. Any times when there's like obvious fits for sound effects, Chris adds in sound effects later. So shout out to Chris with helping with that. And so it's always a fun time to do that. And so I know we're going to do Long Halloween sooner than later, but then I'll like the next issue sooner than later. But after we do that, I think there's kind of like a little bit of a break. So I'd like to figure out like a fun one shot or something to do. I know I had the idea. I think it'd be really fun to do Transformers, mainly because I really want to voice Starscream.
There you go.
I think I could do a good Starscream. But also at the same time, it'd be cool to give some love to Marvel, find a good one shot for Marvel to do as well. Or like a one off to do with Marvel. So I don't know. Point is though, so if anyone has like any idea as far as like comics to read through or like, teams, characters or anything, always keep in mind Rich Rogues galleries or team abilities. Or team ups. You get more people that could be involved in it. But I'm always open to ideas for what kind of things people would want to listen to for that. I think it's something I'd like to try to do more. Obviously, there's the biggest problem of trying to get people together, but like even then, like a smaller solo person book, you can still do with probably like 2 people if you really wanted to.
Yeah.
So, something that's just Spider-Man focused. It's a lot of Peter and then whatever other person is. But anyway, I digress. It's something that's been a lot of fun, and so. Other than that, something I also want more love to be given to is on Tuesday, I released an interview with Michael Schwartz, who's the writer of Armored. I don't have the book right by me. I should have grabbed it. It's an excellent comic collection that released this year. It's actually his first ever comic he wrote, and he is picked up by a new publisher, where this publisher also publishes like art of Marvel books of like particular Marvel artists. They also did something really cool too, where they have these collections of, do you know who Dick Tracy is? Like old comic.
The name sounds familiar.
Yeah. Anyway, they re-released like a bunch of the old like news strips of Dick Tracy, as well as I think it was in like early to mid 70s, maybe it's the late 60s to early 70s. They released old Spider-Man news strip comics. Those just got their first ever reprinting from this company, which are like really cool. Anyway, point is though, is like this new publisher, they've kind of like went all in on supporting this guy, which is awesome.
That's cool.
And so yeah, you should definitely go check out. I want everyone to check out that interview. It was a great 30-minute interview we did. Somebody who's he's had some on-screen writings credits before of like some movies here and there, but it was his first ever comic that he did, so that was cool. So make sure check that out, because I want to do more. Like I want to bring in more indie people, and once I do a certain bit of like indie people and kind of build up being able to do that stuff, the long-term goal is I do want to actually start trying to invite like people that have actually worked with DC and Marvel. And so
that'd be cool.
Yeah, it's long-term goals, but I want to build up to it, not just number-wise. I think some would do it with how, I think some would do it, but I also just want to build up being able to do it as well. So I want everyone to go check that out, though. Long story short. But you know what? Let's get into this episode, though. Talk about one episode, Stray, which this was a really good episode. I gotta say, for I do think legitimately, this is probably one of the best episodes. Maybe it could fight for even being the best episode. I don't know. It's kind of hard to keep track. I haven't been ranking them. Maybe that's something I should have been doing. Or we should have been.
Maybe we could feature that on the last episode, our ranking of maybe our top 5 episodes or something. Or top 3, maybe.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Let me,
because I know this for like what felt like kind of a one-off episode. It was really good. I mean, honestly, I think Leech is my favorite of the season so far. I think was what I said. This is a very close second. Like
that's fair.
I only had one complaint about the whole episode.
Okay.
No Pete.
No Pete. See, that is the thing, though. That's been a big thing with the show where we don't get a bunch of Pete.
Yeah. But we didn't even get a funny one-liner from him in this episode.
We didn't really get any Pete.
Or Whitney, but
I was gonna say, you really didn't get too much with the school in this episode.
No, not
which
really.
Might have been one of the reasons why I really liked it. I don't think I was just thinking about this the other day. I've never really said this on the show, but I think Ian knew this because I've told this to Ian, but I don't necessarily dislike it, but it's not my favorite kind of thing is when you have like the whole like high school drama stuff happen, and like movies and shows. Like it's always my least favorite part of whatever the thing is, And so not saying that the show does it bad, but a lot of times when it does happen, part of my personal bias for not caring for some of that stuff does kind of get in the way a little bit. And so, when you get an episode like this where it's not really up in the forefront, I think that's probably one of the reasons why I really enjoyed it. I'm obviously able to distinguish like, oh yeah, if there's a good plot there, it's a good plot there. I'll give credit where credit's due. I always want to. And there's been some really good episodes that do involve a school setting. But point is though is
high school stuff can be really cheesy.
Yeah. Sometimes it just doesn't always click for me personally. But I realize though that's one of those things that is a like self-preference thing of just in general. I've never cared for that stuff that much. And so I think with getting that personal preference or bias out of the way,
I was going to ask
Chris
you.
Asked a good question here. Keep on the. It says, "Do you feel the same way in reading comics or just on-screen media?" I think it probably applies to comics as much, but I don't think comics really happens as much. Right? X-Men's different because they're in a special like institution, right? So like I don't get that vibe with X-Men. Really. At least like the main versions of X-Men. Obviously you get some stuff where it does kind of get into some of that kind of feels. I guess it just depends. But then I think that's probably one of the reasons why I've like never been huge into Spider-Man, just because of things like that. I was about to say, talk about like shots fired there. Like that's one of my big things is I've never like I like Spider-Man, don't get me wrong, but he's never been.
You don't like Peter Parker, that side.
Yeah, like a lot of his stuff. I mean, yeah, I definitely do find him more interesting when he's older. Like I will say that. Like when he gets into like the college and having to do a job as his only thing, like that I do find more interesting. Like, yeah. So but yeah, I think it bothers me, or not bothers me, but it because it's more of a bigger presence in on-screen media, it bugs me more in there because I can't think of what else it really happens within comics. Like I know with the new Ninja Turtles stuff, I find it weird that they're doing the high school thing. Like not only do I don't care for it, but it's like, why the hell are Ninja Turtles like in high school just out walking around? It's like, what the heck? Like the
Yeah.
things they're doing with the modern Ninja Turtles is like there's some questionable decisions I'm not really on board with, but I don't know. Anyway, that's a whole other tangent and stuff already. What was your question that you had?
Yeah. The kid Ryan, I was wondering if he came from any comics because he can read minds, but it's never explained how.
That's a good question. I don't think he really has. I mean,
Oh,
not that I know of. Let me put it that way.
okay.
Anytime I say there's something that hasn't happened here, like first thing I mean to keep in mind is Superman has been around since 39, something like that. Point is, he's been around for a very long time. He's known to be a great. You know what? Actually, let me show you something I did get, which is really cool. I've got. This is I've shown you the Peacemaker version of this. I got two
Yeah.
of these for Christmas. I got the Superman one.
Oh, nice.
The first superhero. So these don't collect the entire Action Comics, but it collects all the bits he's in. So anyone that doesn't know, the Superman Action Comics and Detective Comics Action Comics, even though and when Batman came into it with 27, they were only just one story of like 5 or 6 other stories in these bigger issues. And so this one doesn't collect the entire Action Comics. It just collects the parts that is just those Superman stories from the first 25 issues of Action Comics. I don't know the numbers for Detective Comics, Action Comics when they switch to being fully just Superman and Batman related comics, because there's a point, obviously, like that's how we know them now, is they just that. But this collects the first 25 of Action Comics, as well as the first 5 issues of Superman's original issues, as well as material from New York World's Fair Comics issue 1, including Clark Kent's first origin tale, a scientific explanation of how his powers work, and more. So, yeah, this is really cool. These things that they do is they focus on a hero or a team, and then they focus on years. So I was wrong. I was 1 year off. He came out in 1938, not 39.
Oh, okay.
So it goes from 1938. I can't remember the focus there, but this covers all his main stuff as best they can from 1938 to 1940. I don't know if they've made a follow up to this in particular, but I find it so cool that they make these collections to make it accessible to read these classic stories. Like we're talking about a story that is, oh my god, it's insane to think that in almost a couple of years, since we're nearly on 2026, Superman's going to be 90 years old.
Yeah. That's crazy.
And so being able to read these nearly 90-year-old story, I'm going to round up to 88 year old story. Like it's so cool to be able to just have an easy way to read this.
Yeah, that's cool.
So, what's funny you say that, Chris. He says, I wonder how it portrays his Kryptonian parents. Like, I don't know when they first really got into that stuff or anything, because a lot of the mythology of Superman of how we know it changed over the years as we went. Where James Gunn got his thing was from the issue miniseries called The Man of Steel, John Byrne's Superman, which has served to be the main Superman origin after Crisis on Infinite Earths. Where Crisis on Infinite Earths, for anyone who doesn't know, served as the big universe reset. And so a lot of characters were kind of given a new definitive origin that combined a bunch of different aspects, maybe changed some things here and there. But yeah, that was his big one. Because on the flip side with Batman, you got Batman Year One, which is one of the biggest ever Batman stories. So, but anyway, yeah. The other thing I was going to say about this is, Superman's been a character that's around for nearly 90 years, as I was just talking about. So there's obviously a bunch of comic history there. I don't know, right? So not saying that any Superman issue or Action Comics issue, had someone that's necessarily what's his name again? Ryan. Yeah, that's necessarily like Ryan, because that's just a lot of inspiration they could have taken, from literally anywhere in his history. But at the same time, something that we have talked about with the premiere and a couple other cases here and there, is this show definitely does take its own creative liberties with the Superman mythos as well. So, it's one of those things that could be really hard to tell. Like,
Yeah.
maybe they did look at an issue, but then they twisted it for this character, It's really hard to say, like I said, when it's so many issues. Superman.
Yeah.
It'd be
Well,
interesting to see how many issues Superman actually has.
oh, it's got to be thousands at this point, probably.
It's all, well, yeah, because Action Comics is over 1,000.
Oh, okay, so it's got to be in the
His
10,000s.
name is Ryan James, and
Yeah.
in the show here, he has the ability to read minds.
I was gonna say the episode was so good that didn't even really bother me. I mean, it would have been neat to maybe figure out how he got that.
Yeah,
Probably something to do with kryptonite.
yeah,
But it didn't like ruin the episode for me.
yeah. It's one of those things where I kind of like the mystery with it. Because it's not just like, oh, hey, he's just another kid who,
Yeah.
is it? We have to keep in mind too of like, one thing I know about this show is that it does incorporate other aspects of the universe later, and so, uh, the DC universe has so many other superheroes, and like, there's superheroes that exist before Superman, and there's all these other heroes that coexist with Superman, and they didn't get their powers. It's not like Hawk Girl got her powers from kryptonite. That's a whole other
Exactly.
thing.
Yeah.
And so, I'm okay with it just being another metahuman. Like there's people that can just appear. Like Metamorpho. So,
yeah. Obviously, if the writers thought. Oh, sorry.
Oh no, Chris says he's an original Smallville character, which is what I would have thought. But
yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Obviously, the writers, if they thought it was important enough for us to know, they would have put it in. So
yeah, I mean, I'd definitely be like curious to see more of him though.
Yeah, and I said this pre-show, the kid actor was great. Like I mean, he was really, really good. So great to see. I don't know if he appears again, but it would be cool.
Yeah, I'd definitely be down to see him again. I liked him. Having is an interesting like say change of pace compared to what we usually get. Something you're talking about is like it's it doesn't really feel like what we've gotten the others. Most of them are usual like villain of the week type things that's happening, and I guess like there technically is the villains of his step parents trying to get the kid.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, it's like the kid himself is a big point of conflict because of the way he acts. But I don't think it's necessarily with an evil intent. It's more of just a way of, I think more of just probably how he was raised and being a kid that doesn't really get better.
Yeah.
But then that also creates like a whole other focal point for the episode between him and Clark. And so, we're going to get all into this bit a bit deeper, but like, overall, though, this was an excellent episode. I know you said you rank it probably like number 2. For me, it's really high up there too. I'd have to look at all the episodes and really think about it. But this is definitely one of them.
Put it in my top 3 for sure.
I think that's a safe bet on my end too. Out of everything we've seen so far, we still have a few episodes left, but this one was like really good. Like halfway through watching the episode, if even halfway. I do think it's right around halfway. The thought occurred to me. I'm like, oh, I see why Ian said this is a single episode. I get it.
Yeah, same.
And so, very cool.
But we just kind of get an episode a bit. We had another car accident this episode. Single car.
We should have.
I'm teasing that before we kind of break down the first.
Yeah, we get. We should have had a car accident counter.
I feel like there's only been maybe an episode or 2 that hasn't involved some kind of car accident at this point.
Yeah, it's like, you gotta think of how expensive that is too.
Yeah,
imagine.
I mean, Martha Kent's whole windshield needs to be replaced, and those aren't cheap.
Yeah,
maybe in Smallville they are. I don't know.
Who knows? So let's see. Right off with the episode, we get to see how this kid works, being able to. Let's see. He's like selling something off to this like pawn shop owner, pawn shop dude, which he was kind of I guess they're kind of like manipulating, trying to sell him this necklace, like because it was a cool way to set up the mind read thing because you didn't get that's what was going on. Like, I think you could have gone through that whole conversation. You wouldn't know something odd was up, obviously, because of the situation of a kid and exactly what they're saying. But like, you didn't necessarily get the vibe right away of like, oh, he's reading his mind and has the ability to specifically read into it. And yeah, it was a really interesting thing. This comment is funny. Saying, turns out Smallville subsides the windshield industry. Maybe.
They must. I mean, at this point, we've had deer hit cars. We've had a kid. We've had Clark get hit by a car.
Hollywood insurance companies in cahoots. Oh boy.
I almost thought maybe that he was gonna have some kind of like when it showed the shot of the safe that maybe he had some kind of like not necessarily mind reading, but like he could sense, like maybe he could see through things, like maybe not so much X-ray, but like, or maybe he could hear really well, like he could hear the type of clicks or something. I don't know, but it was cool that he can read minds in the sense of, and he does, they say this, that he can whatever thought someone's having at that moment.
Yeah, it's the what was the word they use, but it's like the initial thoughts. He doesn't go deeper. It's whatever's like on the surface. Your surface level thoughts is what he gets.
Yeah. And his step parents are just awful. They're the villains of the week for sure.
Yes.
Because this kid seems like the type of kid that probably thought that what he had was normal. Like if he just has had it his whole life or since he was little. And so then he probably told his mom or and I wouldn't be surprised if the stepfathers who killed his mom, to be honest, like because he kills the stepmom later in the episode with like no hesitation.
Yeah.
So
it's a crazy moment, that was for sure. But yeah, it was definitely it's crazy too, of like just seeing how evil they are right off the bat. Killing
and they don't even steal from the safe. They kill the guy and they're like, we gotta go. And then they take their masks off. Like, what if the police were right out there? And their masks look just like him too, so I don't understand that point. Like they're not thinking things through.
I mean, I guess a bunch of robbers don't, but
right, exactly.
If you're having to steal in the first place, that's where you got to catch yourself first. But yeah, it's interesting. Seeing these evil step parents, seeing them, I think it was a great way to set up their characters of being these evil assholes. And then we see the broken windshield where Martha accidentally hits the boy Ryan, and that's how the episode begins and what kicks off how things go. Where, let's see here, gets inspected over at the hospital. From there, they're able to essentially figure out, since he doesn't, since he's with his step family, not his actual main family, whatever happened to him. Did he say exactly, or just wasn't known?
They said that his like his bruises and stuff did not come from the, like they called child services because they could tell he had been abused. And then that's when the Kents were like, we'll take them. Yeah.
Yeah.
For the time between child services being able to come and get him. So
right. And so yeah. So we see him
cooks up quite a breakfast too.
Yeah, he's kind of jealous. He can actually cook better than me.
Pancakes, waffles, eggs, bacon. Like, can we hire this kid to be a personal chef or something?
You're right.
Toast, even. Like, dang.
Yeah. Like I said, he does a better job than me. Or at least he looks like he does a better job. Obviously, who knows if the movie food's real food, but
right.
At least the ones that they don't put in their mouths.
Yeah.
Like,
and I like how we see right off the bat that he cannot read Clark's mind.
Yes.
I think that's cool. Obviously, him being a alien, but the kid plays it off somewhat well.
Yeah.
He's just like, I'm not lying.
Yeah, I like how he acts with Zolte too, of just like this sort of I touched on it a little bit earlier, but like the sort of snarky kid sort of, like certain kids when they say things, they just like kind of don't know better to kind of like
Yeah, they have like
be
no
blunt.
filter.
Yeah, they have no
Yeah.
filter. Exactly. So so seeing him with that ability of being able to read minds was just a cool way to, see through his character and create those points of conflict there.
Mhm.
And then, the real like big thing with this episode that was just great was seeing his relationship with Clark,
Yeah.
where Clark is trying to serve as that better person for
Mhm.
him, trying to be like, and I'm trying to be like, well, sure, that's what you know, but is it necessarily the right thing? And then we also,
Yeah, he
yeah,
even tells him to not make up stories about people.
yeah,
I think he feels like he could be a mentor. He's kinda like a little brother to him.
yeah,
This
yeah. He always feels that sense of responsibility, and so,
Mhm.
yeah. We also see this thing. It gets shown at the beginning, but then they start talking about it here of Warrior Angel, which is an original comic that the kid always looks up to. Showing
Mhm.
that he looks up to people with superpowers, um, and maybe I'd assume that he picks up too that he's probably included in that too, which is why he also connects with it because he knows he's different as well,
Mhm.
even though not knowing maybe the full scope necessarily.
And we get that shot in the comic of the superhero saying, "You're safe now," and then later when Clark saves him in the trash or the garbage truck, it's like the same shot, so I thought was cool. Same line, you know?
Yeah, yeah, I really like to get the little moment of them bonding as well, which is really nice. Seeing them play basketball together, it was just
Yeah.
really what's the word I look for? It was just really nice though.
Yeah, this episode did a what I liked about this episode is it kinda took a step back from all the, like, action in the sense of, like, fights, and it was more kinda just showing you what life in Smallville's like.
Yeah,
Kinda just seeing more of the Kents at home
that's
and
that's
and
true.
everything. But it
I
was
think I
nice.
think that's very fair, and something like that could be easily very boring, but they figured out a way to show a
Yeah.
side of that. And as we're talking about one of the best episodes yet.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's definitely nice. Let's see, we get a subplot with Lex Luthor and Lionel Luthor, where Lionel's wanting Lex to go back to Metropolis over there, and so Lex is conflicted on that.
Which
Um,
kinda surprised me because 'cause I'm sure it's a better money position, but Lex is starting to like Smallville, and he doesn't like who he was in Metropolis, and he would only be more under he would only have to spend more time with his dad, which he obviously doesn't like to do.
uh-huh.
Um, and while he might have a higher title, he'd probably have less, I guess, power maybe? I don't know.
Right,
I'm
right,
kinda
and
like,
that's kind
for
of
me,
alluded to as well,
yeah,
right?
I would look at it as stay with Smallville, you
Yeah,
know?
I guess it's one of those things of, it's obviously coming from his father who has a lot to say, which is obviously one thing. But then also there's probably some other benefits to it as well,
Yeah,
beyond just the money. There's probably more access to resources where he'd be able to just do the things he might want to.
true, yeah.
You'd have the resources, but the problem is you touched on it though, um, is he'd have a tighter leash though,
Yeah.
with being in Metropolis, and I think when we kind of get to when that gets resolved, he realizes that aspect of it of realizing I want to stay here so I can see this through. Um, yes, John Glover is a great Lionel
Oh,
Luthor.
he's so good.
Yeah, he is really good. But yeah, um, yeah, that was a good sort of subplot that we got a little bit through
Mhm.
this.
I wonder how Clark got Ryan into the school.
That's a good question.
Maybe he just played it off as I don't know, maybe it was just but it's probably easy. I mean, Smallville's a small town. It was probably no one even cared.
I was about to say, he was probably not even registered with the school yet at that time, so Clark was probably like,
Yeah.
let's sneak him into high school. Like, that's a exciting
Mhm.
thing to do for them.
And then we see he reads Chloe's mind when he mentions the guy that died. And to be fair, Chloe doesn't have a good poker face. I could tell that she was hiding from him saying that he died, so I didn't even have to read her mind. So
It's funny. But then also reads Lex's mind here, too.
yeah, yeah.
Which is funny to see. He's like, what? I didn't say any of that. He's like, what are you talking about?
And
Oh,
then the guy Clark says, "Gotta quit making stories up about people."
yeah, exactly. Turns out it wasn't even a story at all.
Hmm.
Funny how that happens. But yeah, let's see here. See that chase scene happen where he ends up in a garbage dump truck there. Uh,
Yeah, I was like, they're not gonna
rescue
kill
him.
off the kid, you know.
Yeah,
But it
no,
was a good scene.
yes, it was a good scene. Oh, do you get a scene between oh my gosh, between Clark and Lexi as well?
And that's kind of adds to Clark's suspicions a bit of Ryan because he asks Lex if he's told anyone, and Lex is like, I haven't told anyone but you. And Clark is like, huh, but Ryan knew.
Yeah, trying to figure out more of how it works for him.
Yeah.
It's cool. But yeah,
You almost can tell, like, I feel like, especially with little kids, you can kind of tell, like, I think for the most part when they're lying or not.
yeah,
And in most of his scene, well, pretty much every time he's telling someone a story, he's got a genuine, like, look, like, telling you the truth. Like, I can't tell you how I know, but I just know. You know? And people see that it pays off, like when he told Lana about that girl. We find out at the end that she was stealing money from the company,
right.
so or business. See right here, Clark? Look, I say right here, I know people can't see it, but the scene where him and Chloe are going and looking
Mhm.
for the stuff, and he mentions the prom, and Chloe's kind of like, yeah, like ask her, Clark, like, come on, it's just a dance, come on,
Gotta shoot your shot, you know?
yeah,
Yeah, you did get some nice character moments like that for sure. Um, and we got a big one here too. Like we got actually had a big thing happen here as well, where he finds out through learning through his Clark's mother's shot
hmm
thoughts about he learned about what Clark came in that was
yeah.
hidden away, and getting to see that here was a big
And you can
thing.
see that the kid genuinely just wanted to know. Like he's not like, all right, I'm gonna tell everyone, Clark. He's even
Right.
like, you keep the secret, I'll keep yours.
Right, not like that one dude
Yeah.
from
Oh
a
my gosh.
few episodes ago.
Yeah. Was that Hug? Was that I think I can't remember.
Yeah, I'm sure possibly.
Now, is it common? I don't. Maybe it's just for the show. Is it common canon with the Kents that they could not have biological kids?
I think so.
Okay, because that was
I
kind of
don't
always my
because
interpretation.
I believe that's the interpretation, since they're usually older by the time they find him,
That's true.
and
Yeah.
and that's a big reason why they care for him, is that because they weren't able to actually have children, it was their chance, and so that's why they raise him the best they can, you know. And so,
Hmm.
um, but yeah, I believe that's how it always is. Um,
Okay.
I
Yeah.
could be wrong about some of the specifics there, but yeah. But no, this scene down by the pod was really good though. Getting to see some real genuine emotion from the kid there too. It was pretty good.
Hmm.
And then the child gets taken away.
Yeah, it's funny. This was obviously, simpler times, but like just, her just showing up and the Kents, believe the good in anyone. And so they don't no questions asked. with the lady from Child Service. I'll say that was probably the best preparation that they did, was getting with the child, like the badge and everything.
Yeah. This episode definitely did a lot of good things. And seeing Lex involved here at the end as well, and then there's a whole rescue operation that essentially has to happen. Oh yeah, I forgot Lex gifts. It's not called a sword. What did he call it?
Oh, it was like a foil or
Foil or something. Yeah,
I
some
don't
kind of sword. Yeah.
something like that. Yeah.
And so that was funny to see Clark play with that.
I love how Lex isn't confused on how Clark just shows up randomly after he's thrown out of the car.
Right.
You've always come to expect it now. But that had to hurt too. I mean, Lex like rolled after he was thrown like that. I feel like that would hurt quite a bit.
Yeah, probably some genuine pain there was almost shown after being chucked out of vehicle.
Especially with how fast they were going too. Like,
so Whiskey says if it's a sword used for modern fencing, it's called a foil.
Foil, okay.
So
yeah, that's
we were right, or you were right about that. There you go.
There's one thing I can remember. It's the name of a random sword.
Random sword.
But even the stepmom believes him at the end when the kid was mentioning that the stepdad would kill her. She's like, there's one thing I know about this kid is that he's weird, but also that he never lies. I thought that was a cool little kind of, not really a twist, but I was surprised that he actually shot her. And then he shoots the bowling alley worker. I'm like, poor guy, he was just leaving work.
Right. That when that happened, I was like, oh, that wasn't necessary. He was just there.
But I guess if you call the police, maybe he
was literally just holding like.
Yeah, the police would be way better than Clark coming after you.
Right. Exactly. You might actually have a chance there.
Yeah.
At least that's how it goes. But yeah, no, it was a solid.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
I'm surprised I didn't kill the guy when Clark threw the bowling ball at him with the amount of force that Clark can use.
You probably made sure to just throw it just hard enough to.
True, because when he like hit Pete in last,
I was gonna say it's not like it was in the head either. It's in the chest, which can take a lot of force.
That's true.
You know, right in the center of the chest where he did it there.
Yeah.
So it was definitely meant to just be let me. And you have to also think though too, he literally threw that through at least 2 walls or something there. Just a wall,
the force
which
down
definitely
a bit.
slowed it down. So
yeah.
But yeah. And
kid goes off with his. Oh, we still don't have a decision from Lex yet, because he said he didn't know yet. He's alluded to him staying in Smallville, but I don't think I don't think he definitively said. So, guess we'll find out next week.
It's probably one of those story points too to probably set up something in a larger scheme to know. You know,
that's a good point.
There's opportunity for Lex outside, so like I wouldn't be surprised if it in like season 2 it's him in Metropolis and this sets it up, you know, and this is the setup for that. So
Ian would be able to tell us, you know,
or I'll be like,
maybe this is something
that we can say nothing.
Yeah, right. Yeah, maybe this does set up some kind of big plot point. Because I feel like if it didn't, they would like Lex would just give his answer in this episode.
Exactly, and that's what makes me think about it too. Is it's used to set up what could be a good plot line with Lex as we go into these final episodes of the season. I feel like as we get into which is nice, which could be good. So you know, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what it could entail.
Ryan was able to go off with his aunt, which was good to see. Him get a happy ending there.
Yeah.
They say did his aunt come from Metropolis? I don't know if they said.
I don't know if they really much about where she. I don't know.
Because if that were the case, definitely could see him again because it's not like Metropolis is that far.
Right.
So, but I don't remember.
I was gonna say,
the
if we
time.
get more Metropolis next season, hopefully we'll get him again. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, it was definitely just a really good episode, as we said, and pretty much it
Mhm.
with it. We had a moment too that I just thought of that I liked as well between Lex and the kid, of them talking about the Blood Angel comic or whatever it's called. Seeing Lex. Lex is apparently a comic nerd.
Yeah,
We didn't know that until
forgot
this
about
episode. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, Lex gets some cool points in my book, or nerd points in my book, however you want to look at it, I suppose. Because
Yeah.
it just depends.
But I love that when he was trying to tell Ryan, and he's like, Ryan just says what it is, and he's like, "You're rich. Rich people collect stuff." Like, hold on a second, Ryan. I'm not rich, and I collect stuff. So let's
Calm down
Lex,
here.
yeah. Now Lex collects higher end things than I do, but still.
Yes. That's how it goes. I'm of the thing mindset of, as long as you have one of something, you have a collection of one. So by default,
True.
you have a collection, even if
Yeah.
it's just one thing. And so, it's easy to have a collection of a lot of different things, a lot of random things around. Or you could be obsessive like me and get dive into the deep end of a fuck ton of comics.
Guess that's me with movies,
Yeah, exactly. It's like we each have our thing that we're into. I've just accepted what mine is. I think that's our thing, is like you realize the one thing you're into, and because you're into that one thing so much, it's like, yeah, there's other cool nerd things out there, but I'm busy buying my thing here. That's how it works. I do realize that. And so uh anyway, but yeah, no, overall this was just a great episode. It was good
Yeah.
stuff. Um yeah, who's your superstar for this week?
See, I was trying to think of that.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
don't know why this one's harder, because I feel like it shouldn't be hard, but it
it's
is.
hard because there's a lot. Like I could say Clark for being a mentor to Ryan and not pushing him away.
Yeah.
Because you could see the impact because even the kids bring it up on if they should have adopted another kid, would it, Clark didn't have to hide from a brother. But I
Right.
might go with the Kents, and I know part of it was probably because Martha hit him with her car, but no questions asked. They say we'll take the kid home for however many days,
That's
and they
very fair.
they didn't treat him as a burden as soon as he got home. Like they were very welcoming with him and basically let him just be a kid. And so I'd probably go with the Kents on that one.
I think that's a really fair way to look at it. Yeah, I know for me, mine is the low hanging fruit that you could say of every episode would be Clark. But that's just
Yeah.
because I did genuinely really like seeing his relationship with the kid, that you kind of, you briefly touched on it for why it could have been yours there. And it was really wholesome. That was the word I was looking for earlier. Was it just
Yeah.
really wholesome? Seeing that moment with him playing, even though I'm not a basketball fan, it was such a great moment to see them enjoy that
This whole
moment
episode was
together.
very wholesome outside of the step parents,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You
That's
got,
why I liked it so much, to be honest.
yeah. I mean, it's definitely one of those episodes. I think by the end of it, like, you just have like good vibes. The kid's in
Mhm.
a better place.
You
And
kind of
like,
feel like you're living in Smallville, like when it kind of takes a step back. I mean, there's the action there at the end, but when you kind of take the step back,
mhm.
I think that's why I enjoyed it so much.
Yeah, being able to have a good look into the universe itself, which is
Mhm.
always important. And just like, oh, it's a whole
Yeah,
blown
don't get
up
me wrong, I
wide
like the
act.
end and
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah,
but
yeah, yeah. I agree.
yeah.
Yeah, I think it's important to have world building and being able to spend time within it, enjoy the world that you're in. It's important to care for Smallville, not as it's just a place, but in its own character, you could say.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's really important stuff. So, but yeah, I agree. It was so good. I really liked it.
Mhm.
Um, I don't think there's really anything else though, is there? I think
No,
we're
I
pretty
think
much
we
covered
did
the
a good
episode.
job of covering everything.
I think so too. What do you have going on this week?
Yeah, so no Came in Focus tomorrow. We're off till this week. The last week we're off till the new year. Um, Over on Feast of Fandoms, we'll be going live Monday night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern for the season 2 finale of Jessica Jones. Really been enjoying that season. And then because Thursday night for the Cantina Happy Hour, because that's New Year's Day, we are going to pre-record the episode of Clone Wars. I'm blanking on. I think it's the Boba Fett arc where he's a kid. It's towards the end of the season. I think it's 19, 20, and 21. And we will be pre-recording that, and we're still releasing it on Thursday night. We just won't be live. And I think that's all I got outside of being back here next week.
You know, I really like Whiskey's analogy here to how you were saying it. This wouldn't mean much to you because I know you haven't really gotten into any tabletop RPGs yet. But he said you can think of it like TTRPGs. Not every session needs to be combat. Sometimes you just want to role play / world build, which is 100%. I do find that's how a lot of my things are. Where a lot of times, like I'll have a really big action packed, and then that's kind of like last session was. There was a combat involved in it, but it wasn't like it was more for world building purposes than necessarily plot purposes while it was there.
Yeah.
So that's I completely understand that. It's really cool. But yeah, go check out subscribe to Game Focus for when hopefully return next week, as well as Feast of Fandoms for all that stuff that Andrew was just talking about. On the Dingus Den, I'm probably going to be dropping probably a few videos because I recorded 2 reviews last week, and
Nice.
unless I decide to hold off on one of them until the next week, I'm like I said, I'm just trying to like space out content, But well, let me see here. Actually, no, I am going to have to probably hold on to one of them now that I'm thinking about it. I'll release one on one of the days because then we also have our Batman Long Halloween next week as well as me and Steve are going to record sometime in the next couple days. We're going to record our top 10, each of our top 10 like best or favorite number 1 issues that came out in 2025. And so that'll be a fun video for us to do that I'm wanting to drop probably like on the 31st or something like that. I don't know. I'll probably have like a drop 3-day stretch there or whatever, 30, 31st and the 1st for a long Halloween stuff there. So, but yeah, I got stuff that I need to come out, and I'm planning reviews and stuff too. And so some of them might get recorded the next week, but some of them might not. It just depends. But luckily right now I'm at a point too where if nothing gets recorded for a week, you won't know it just because of being able to of how much stuff that's already kind of just waiting there. Because I'm like, there's no point to if you don't need to release it all at once.
Yeah. It's nice to have a back catalog up your
Yeah,
sleeve.
yeah, exactly. And so I've been keeping to a schedule of so far it's been Tuesday, Thursday, Saturdays. So we'll see. I might look into trying like a Monday, Wednesday, Saturday model instead sometime, but we'll see. But no, I like having the day space between, and just so it's kind of feeling like it's a constant flow for any person that does support the channel and all that. It's a nice flow. Consistency is important. There's some times where I haven't like done absolutely nothing, so to be in a spot where I'm actually doing things like a weekly video and this weekly show at the very least is really cool. So, but yeah, yeah, I got reviews in the backlog. I think I mentioned last time that I did a Transformers review, so I'm holding on to that still, which was awesome. Me and Chris did a review talking about the original Magic miniseries. So who knows when that's going to come out? I'll probably get one of those out this week, as well as the New Year's long Halloween, which was a lot of fun. I want everyone to check out those since those are awesome, as well as the top 10 favorite issues of 2025. As I look back on it, and I realize, oh yeah, there's a good bit of red, and there's actually been some really good like number ones that I recommend. I think I have like a mix of like good mix of my list of like things that are both like things that are like that I personally really enjoyed that are like good, like solid, but like is on my list because of how much I love it, and things that is just legitimately like, oh, this is a great story that you should read. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to that though.
Nice.
But yeah, keep an eye out for all that stuff. Thank you everybody who came by and watched and joined us and interacted, all that stuff for this week's Before the Cape. We'll be back next week with the episodes Reaper and
Drum roll.
Reaper and Drone, which will be
Drone Reaper would sound so much cooler.
Yeah, the Reaper Drone. Dun dun dun. But yeah,
3 episodes left. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. We're almost done with season 1. 3 episodes left. Yeah,
wow.
how cool is that? So yeah, Reaper and Drone is next week.
That's gonna be next year. That's crazy.
You're right. I didn't even think about that. I'll see everybody next year, I guess.
Hope everyone has a happy new year.
Happy New Year indeed. But yeah, thank you everyone so much for joining, and I'll see you all next week. You're on the Dingus Den. Same super time, same super channel. Bye. Nice.